All right, so here's everything that we would love to be able to cover. Some parts of this we will abbreviate, make it a little shorter. Some of the parts will have more of a discussion format to it. But there's a few things in here that we want to talk about. One is just the program overview, then we'll dive into the partnership, what this means mutually. We'll talk a little about NexTrust, our mission, services. Maybe that'll be a little bit more where the discussion part comes in. Well, a few things surround the rewards program itself, things like actual process and the benefits for you guys. And then from there, we'll just cover a few of the get started pieces. Bobby and us, Bobby and I chatted. I know there's some questions around a few things relative to the getting started process that we're working out and be able to provide you guys with an answer here shortly. But overall, I want to make sure that the opportunities aren't missed and that everyone can begin to see the benefit of this immediately. My name's Kirk, by the way. I'm the sales coach or enablement resource, whatever title you'd like to give me. My job really is to just help remove the roadblocks and just enable you guys with the best opportunities to, again, see this partnership work out really well and to see the benefits from it on your side. I'm also with Tony, who's our CPO. He's been with the company for, quite a while, but I think it's past even the 6 years though, because your experience goes way before this. So when you talk about industry vets, that's Tony, and we're lucky to have him. But diving into the rewards program. So first and foremost, like I should start by saying really welcome to everyone here. This is a really exciting opportunity. Our goal is when we talk about how the program works, the overview, why this is in place. It's less for us to focus on being salesy or things like that. That's not really aligned with your guys' goal, your company goal, or I'm sorry, your individual roles, but rather we just want to put out the process in place and what this means. So when we talk about getting started, there's really a few things that we're asking to make this very simple, and that's when services are recommended, schedule a demo. When the individual attends the demo, you're one of the providers, or in this case, the franchisees, you get $50. So it's very simple, very straightforward. We're not asking you to sell anything or to get too deep into the weeds like that. That's for our team. It's just about mentioning the partnership, and every time that happens and someone says, yeah, I'll chat, $50 in your pocket if they show up.
If I could just add one thing to that, Kirk.
Yes, please.
It's important to recognize also we're not asking you to just go make calls out to people either in order to make this happen. We're looking at this as a program that piggybacks on the conversations and the work that you're already having. So if you're talking to a franchisee or a prospect or anybody along those lines, you're already talking to them about problems and issues that they may be having. We want you to just be able to recognize those that might benefit from what it is that we have to offer and be willing to make that recommendation in the process of your normal work. This is not let's go do a campaign to call 500 people, because those tend to be less effective. This is really just, what are you doing right now, and how can you make a little bit of extra money with a couple of minor modifications to how you're talking to your customers.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Once you have a conversation with someone and they agree to learn more, you'll go to your website, which is billflash.com/ClaimTek. And we could link it in here, but it'll pull up the main page, and there will be a schedule now option. And the schedule now option allows you to just find any time that's available for any of the reps at BillFlash, and they will take the customer from there. And if as soon as that customer shows up, you get $50 right into your it's a digital MasterCard. And there's no cap on this. we found that when we've reviewed various ways to ensure you get paid not only timely, but in a manner that's most beneficial to you, the digital option is the quickest way for us to deliver the funds without there being any kind of tax implications or any fees that would reduce the total amount. This way we can drop in the full amount you can use however you'd like anywhere in the world. The other thing that you should know is after you sign up and then complete your certification, you'll get an email from tangocard.com. It might be in spam or junk, so please check that if it is. But that's what will issue your rewards card. And then from there, again, as the conversations begin to happen, we'll start dropping in all the money into your accounts and growing it that way. Is there any questions around just the overview of the program or the rewards or what the ask is or anything like that at this point?
Clear.
Thank you.
We're
I
also
have a
making those
question.
payments
Sorry.
weekly. Just so,
Yeah.
sorry, Sarah. Those
It's
payments
okay.
are going out weekly, so you don't have to wait a month. You don't have to wait a quarter. Don't have to wait for reporting to come back. If you go off of this call today, schedule a demo for tomorrow, and the customer shows up tomorrow, by next Monday, which is the day that we process those things, you will be paid.
Okay. Is it kind of like more like a gift card, or is it going to be linked to our bank account? Is it only electronic? Like, how does that work?
The current process is it all goes through, I guess you could think of it like a reloadable card. It'll be the same MasterCard on there. We're exploring additional options, but for now, the one that we've found that again provides you the most amount of monetary the quickest is the digital card. Now, I believe, don't quote me on this, because it's a digital card, it typically will have the digital numbers, especially if you need to enter it into like an Amazon or anything like that. So I'm pretty confident you can link it to like an Apple Pay or sorry,
You
your
can.
iPhone or any of that stuff. So you still could use
Okay.
that in those tap transactions. But it's just the actual physical card, which has fees that will be taken out associated with that. We've just removed that from the equation so you can get the full 50.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
It's
Mhm.
like a prepaid MasterCard or Visa or Amex,
Yeah,
like you might get at the
Perfect.
store.
Yeah.
but linkable to your phone. Yep,
Nice. Okay. Thank you.
no problem. It's probably a little more in depth than you wanted the answer to be, but we'll cover all grounds. Okay, talk a little bit about the partnership here. So really for us, when we talk about why we're choosing to work with individuals, of course there's this mutual benefit, and we especially around revenue. Like I think that's obvious for everyone here in this room, but for us, we have to look at this and say, well, how do we want to be viewed? And this is really why Tony, when he's pretty selective in who we decide to let into the program and who we don't. And it's all because we don't want to be viewed or have a relationship like a spiff partner. Like if you do this, you get a little spiff kickback, but rather it's to focus more on a strategic business critical function. That type of level for us is really what we're trying to strive for. And it's just so everyone here knows how this all works. There's two parts, not just give us a lead and you guys get money, but rather when one of the billing services they get the BillFlash ecosystem from a transaction volume perspective. The more transaction volume that biller has, the more rev share is given to ClaimTek. More rev share for ClaimTek means more opportunity, more operating cash to do additional things that would help to further fund or accelerate the growth of ClaimTek. So for us, it's what's the opportunity at hand or the potential volume. And then from there, it's how can we align to ensure that you can, in a sense, double dip, not only make a little bit of the monetary from the franchise and that portion, but also then get the additional rev share from us, and what would that actually equate to? So in that way, we look at who the individuals are, and we've just found that with the current space that you're in, this provides a almost immediate in some cases, 10% revenue increase just by adopting the provider solution that I think most of you are already probably familiar with. But that's really where this comes from. It's, when you use it as a provider, if we give you the tools, the other thing that this does is it allows the actual providers who are working with the franchisees, and you guys know this, the more services they have, the stickier it is and harder it is to churn, which means more a longer LTV in terms of what the client's actual value is to the company. Any questions about any of that? Is that kind of clear, where this is all coming from, hopefully? And if there's any like acronyms or stuff like that, we can talk more.
It's all good. Yeah, sounds great.
Awesome. Okay. Does everyone know NexTrust or BillFlash or our services, or this kind of new to anyone so far?
I think we're all familiar with it.
Okay. Yeah, I assume so. So this part should be pretty quick. There's 3 parts, there's 3 arms to the whole process. We have the NexTrust, which is at our level, the reseller level. Then you have the BillFlash site. BillFlash is for customers that go in, download the reports, see what services they have on, etc. And then the actual online portal, PayWoot, that's for the end patient. So they're processing any transactions online. They use PayWoot, then that port would get tied back to the BillFlash, and then you can get the overall report of which sub accounts you have in your NexTrust site. So that's kind of how those all differentiate. But to your customers, that's BillFlash. That's how, I'm sure you're already bringing it up. That's how we present it when we're talking to people on the phone. But our mission really is to get customers paid with the best customer and payer experience. And it's really the 2-pronged approach. Getting accounts received and settled is very important, but also providing in a way that when we talk about best customer experience, a lot of that's continuing to improve on automation tools, and the payer experience continue to provide clarity and transparency around rates and things along those lines. And let's skip too far ahead. I think everyone here understands the issues that are relative to healthcare as they relate to billing. We've just observed that about 83% of practices report slow patient payments as their #1 priority. I think when we did a survey of our current base, about 65% of our current customers were saying that prior to starting with BillFlash, we recorded that they were collecting about 55% of their billed statements. So that's 45% of revenue that they're either writing off or just losing completely, or has been delayed for other reasons. And so providing a vehicle to reduce those balances, also reduce the administrative costs, provides it really ends up being a backbone and a very critical piece to the future of healthcare. That's why there's a lot of companies like us out there trying to help to solve, modernize, and reduce the difficulty that are sometimes associated with potential payments in the healthcare sector. If everyone's familiar with us, then a lot of these things should be pretty clear already. Our model is really flipping things to more of a proactive, automated, and patient-friendly approach. So we provide a lot of the solutions for both the billing side and the payment side. Where we found that the conversation is probably going to be the most beneficial for the franchisees. And please help me understand, but the franchisees are acting as the billing endpoint for all the providers. Is that accurate? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so they're doing a lot of the processing, just making sure that everything adds up and the P&L's justified. So on that front, you have the billing solutions, really where the franchisees is probably going to be, you'll have the conversations with, and then it'll be up to the franchisees to have the conversations and the introductions with the providers for more the payment side, the solutions. And that's where understanding the difference between payments and the billing services will be, I think, really important to understand, especially a little bit later on when you guys get updates about some of our patient solutions, like a patient spending card will be coming out. That'll be important to us to be able to communicate. But I'll pause here for a second. We have there's two sides of that coin. You have on the right the billing solutions, and on the left you have the payment solutions. Are any of these new, or are these less familiar to anyone on the call, just around the type of services that we provide, pre-bill, e-bill, mailed
Are there
statements?
any of them that you don't know what they are or are you not familiar with?
Flex
Mhm.
pay patient financing?
That's a good one. Do you mind if I take that for a second, Kirk?
Please.
So FlexPay patient financing is integrated onto all of the bills that are sent out, and it functions very similar to a buy now, pay later that you might be familiar with on Amazon, where you decide you're going to buy something. They have the buy now, pay later that splits it up into monthly payments. We have an option that integrates onto our statements that can offer that same type of financing to patients who might not have enough money to cover the bill that they have. This financing is fairly unique in the industry in that it targets patients who have a credit score of 500 or higher, which is a very terrible credit score. You don't pay your bills, 500 is your score. Over 90% of patients will be approved for it, and it will allow financing of balances $70 and up, which is usually a lot smaller than most traditional financing options that are looking at much higher balances in order to qualify. And every single patient out of that 90+% who gets approved for a balance at 70 or higher gets at least one option of 0% financing for 3 months. So if you imagine a patient that receives a bill for $100, they don't have $100. Their options are to pay it or not pay it. And if they don't have $100, most of the time they don't pay it. If they choose to use FlexPay, they get approved for that loan. They can get 3 months of 0% interest that breaks that $100 up into $33.33 3 times over 3 months. And that's a little bit more likely for them to be able to utilize. Once the patient's approved for the loan, the provider gets it, and it can never be clawed back unless a refund is issued. The burden of collecting it is on us, not on you or your franchisees or the practices. That make sense?
Yes. So they're getting the loan from your company?
It's through a bank that we partner with. Yes.
Okay,
So it's a loan. They get approved in about 3 minutes. It's a very simple process to get approved. It's integrated onto the statements. It just takes a couple of pieces of information, and then they can check their options actually without even a credit check. They don't have to put in their social security number until they decide to accept the loan.
Okay. And is that like on the statement template, or is that something that would have to be initiated and put on a certain practice's statement templates?
They sign up for it, it gets added automatically.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so if they see the statement and they scan the QR code, go to the PayWoot site, that'll just be one of the additional options. So instead of the e-check with a credit card or debit card, then they'll have the Flex Pay option, kind of like Affirm or whatever. They'll click on that, then it'll take them to a different screen, like and it's like 3 or 4 steps. Enter name, phone number, and then they enter the information there. Then it will break it up, like Tony said, to those 3 options. They choose that, they go to the final screen, which is if you choose accept, add in more information, you're good to go.
Okay. Can I just summarize what I think my understanding is real quick?
Please.
Okay, so ClaimTek employees tell our licensees to sign up for BillFlash. We let them know that this is a feature. They let their provider know this is a feature, and on that specific provider account, that's when it gets enabled when they sign up for it per provider, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And then, the benefit ends up being for the franchisee, and I think also you guys, is once that patient signs up for their account, the provider gets paid, usually it's the next 24, 48 hours, depending on what time that the person initiates the payment. As soon as that money gets wired to you, you guys take out your cut, and then we worry about the collection on the patient side. So it's really a win-win just for everyone involved.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that that was an option, so this is good.
The thing that will be coming out here shortly, it'll be a broader announcement when it happens, but a flexible spending card option for patients that the providers will be able to offer to everyone in their patient records. and it'll just act as a credit card or like an extension credit card HSA essentially. So it'll be another way just to kind of bypass any of these options once they're already approved, and to hopefully allow for more treatment and more billing opportunities. Anyways, but that's the here or there, it's to come. So I'll leave it at that. Any other questions about any of these, the payment solutions or the billing solutions? Okay. All right, we will move on. So now let's just do a little bit deeper dive into the actual program overview. So everyone talks about who's this for. Typically, you would think this is more of a sales function. We found that when it comes to the reps that in our program that actually received the most compensation for this, it's ends up being support. And I think if you just look at numbers, it makes a lot of sense. Who has the highest average call volume or frequency of calls per day tends to be support relative to sales opportunities. And this does present its own unique challenge, right? Because if you think about it, you're like, well, we're not, our SLAs and our KPIs are not around selling. A lot of it's for MPS or things like that. So what this ends up being is we found that there's some low risk strategies that we've employed that really allowed for reps to create an environment where after they've already de-escalated the issue or resolved a patient concern or a franchisee concern, asking a simple question allows the conversation to begin. And then for us, it's leave the conversation after you have the question and they respond, right? So instead of trying to ask more questions, keep probing, something like, the example would be something like, what's your process for collecting payments after a bill's been sent out? Oh, it's this, that, and the other. Awesome. Hey, we partner with a company called BillFlash. They handle all of our provider solutions just to reduce the whatever they said, reduce the amount of time it takes for you to collect. Would you be open to a conversation? Done. As soon as that happens, but those type of conversations and just that little 1 minute snippet really allows you to have more opportunities than what we've observed from other places. So that's really where the support ends up being a big factor. But for CS and sales, again, it's obvious why those are also included. Okay, so participation guidelines, we already discussed this, really 4 steps. Recommend BillFlash, schedule the demo on the landing page. If the meeting happens, you get paid. If it doesn't happen, we'll work with you and the individuals to get it back on the schedule so you guys can make sure to get the paid and your work's being seen. There's some criteria just around who is eligible and who's not. Really for the franchisees, it's the billing side of things, less than the payment side of things, right? So if there's a potential fit, you endorse it, they schedule the meeting, they sign up, you guys get paid. Very straightforward, very simple. It is important to note though that you can do an email handoff if you'd like, but make sure it is scheduled through the landing page so that we can tie back who it came from and get the money sent to your actual account. So then again, we've seen this. There we go. We will ensure that you guys can know, and it's very transparent around who actually did meet, who's still yet to meet, who did not show, or who actually, and once it's completed, so that way you can make sure that you're getting the payment from there. And then also for management, if they become the NexTrust customer, so that way you also can know about the revenue share opportunity or revenue share client versus just a one-time payout. So you'll get an email like something like this. It's just a lead disposition report just around all the leads. And then, yeah, but you get paid. So the preview something like this, so you guys can get an example what this would look like. There's no cap to commission opportunities. We'll pay out per demo. So if you do 1 a week, $50. If you do 5 a week, kind of like some of our best reps, that's an extra $1,000 a month, more like $12,000 a year. So for some, it's a 10% increase to their salary. For some, it's way more, like 30% increase to their salary when you look at it that way. The thing to note though is there is a number where the federal government really regulates us and our ability to pay out. Really, not just us, but anyone, any individual that offers sorry, I'm saying this wrong. An entity that offers an individual monetary above $600, you have to have a 1099 in place. And so that way you continue to get the payouts. So that's just a little something around what to anticipate. And on the rep sign up form, there's a few questions around the title, and there's some other fields around the 1099. But that's the purpose for it, is it's just federal government regulations of you have to get them signed up to continue to get paid out once you get to a certain point. Is there any questions or things that aren't clear around the payout portion of this, or how it works, or the reason why?
So just to confirm, like if we only make $200 for the first year, we don't have to worry about anything with our taxes?
That's right.
Yeah.
So we don't mention it or anything on our taxes, or just business as usual?
I mean, in theory, if you're being exact, you would want to put it on your taxes. We don't have to issue a 1099 that tells the IRS about it unless you make more than that.
Got it. Okay.
So it's not, in theory, you're supposed to claim all your income on your taxes.
Okay, just making sure that the whole 1099.
We're not the tax people though, so
yeah, you want to consult your accountant for that discussion.
Yeah.
The requirement is on us to provide you a 1099 once it reaches 600.
Okay, so there will be a way for us to track our sales for demos, quote unquote, so we could remember everything and put it on our taxes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we'll wrap things up here. We're kind of at time, so I'll go a little quicker. There's only a few things to note. So Bobby's either going to send out or sent out a registration link. It would be for each reps to sign up on. Once you get that, you'll get your own unique rep ID. It's really help us tie back who's scheduling it to our system internally, so the way that we can know who to give the money to. The second thing after that is getting certified. So after this meeting happens, everyone will get a link to a course. It says it's 30 minutes. I'm relatively new here. I've only been in the company for going on the week 4 now. It took me like 15 minutes to do this, my first try. So you'll go through thank you. If anyone else needs to go, it's fine. But once you have it's certified, you'll get the Tango card, and then you'll be ready to start making your money from there. There'll be only thing after you get certified is scheduling an onboarding call with me. This will be your rep one-on-one thing. And I will be working out some additional details with Bobby just to ensure that we're not taking up additional time from the calendars to have these meetings. And get you guys taken away from your current flow. So we'll have that discussion. I'll make sure those are all set up appropriately with everyone, so that they're just most efficient use of our time, and I can help to figure out where the gaps are and what resources I can provide. And if you need anything from there, you can always reach out to here, and this will be in the email of where to reach us at. If you do the rewards.billflash.com, Tony and myself will be notified, and that way we can answer any questions or give you the resources you need. Is there any questions? I know that was a little quick, but anything else that I can answer you before we wrap up?
One thing that came to mind. So as far as requirements for our licensees, as far as who would qualify for a demo and who would basically qualify for the bonus,
yes.
I think we had talked about that they need to have a billing account.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, so what I'm kind of wondering is if I'm imagining you want people who are not using BillFlash currently for anything, right?
That's right.
What if there's a situation where maybe they're using some of your services, but maybe they would qualify for another one, or like, maybe they're just sending out patient statements, but they might be interested in getting on like pay services or, something like that. Is there anything in that regard, or is it pretty much they need to be not working with BillFlash at all?
It needs to be a net new customer. If they are on BillFlash, we already know who they are, and we're having those conversations with them already.
Gotcha.
Kirk has a team that's already working with all of the internal existing BillFlash customers. This is a This is a plan or a program that's designed to grow the number of people who are using it for both of our companies, that to drive revenue to both of the companies as a result of that increased usage. So if they're already on BillFlash, that's not who we're targeting here. And I would also say that you're right. We are looking for those that are using a billing or that are doing billing for someone right now. If you have somebody that signs up as a franchisee and they don't have any customers, they're not doing any billing for anybody, there's not much that we can do for them right now. So they would fall outside of the realm of those that need a fit. Once they have somebody that they're going to bill for, we would love to get them set up. But until that point, there's not a whole lot of purpose in us doing the demo for them because there's nothing that they would be able to do with it.
Makes sense. Okay, cool. No, I got it. Thank you. And yeah, the only question I had is, I don't know if this is something you can even answer necessarily right now, but you know, I'd talk to you about some people who are a little hesitant to fill out the thing for the 1099 with the social security number. Is it possible maybe they could enroll and then only need to submit that information once they hit the $600 threshold, or have you found, you know, any other kind of solution for that at the moment?
We're still working through that. We're talking with people that originated this, because I know that this has been discussed in the past. There's not an easy solution now, just because the accounting portion on our side of the business that we have to make sure we're also settling as well. And if we just have just numbers going out, there's like, it looks like gifts, but then there's gift limits that are, if they're not trackable, or if they keep going to just like gift cards, gift card, it creates a really weird, it looks really weird to the IRS and not really good for our company. So we're trying to figure out a workaround around that, but all the things would point to, if we're any person's just trying to I guess stay in the good graces with, you know, federal government, then 1099 seems to be the easiest solution that we have available right now. All the information, especially around like, you know, social security and stuff, I mean, it's all encrypted. You only have, you know, one individual that can access it. So it's the same as you'd imagine. I'd imagine if I signed up for ClaimTek and you asked me for that information, I'm sure the only one person at your company could probably view it. So it's the same things that way. But that's really where we're at right now. Again, we're trying to have some conversations to figure out a workaround, but you know, if there are any hesitations or things that we could answer just around like who sees what or why, then, you know, happy to have those conversations and make sure it's crystal clear.
Sure. All right. Thank you. That's all I have.
Awesome. Okay. Well, again, thanks everyone for presenting for the time. And if you have anything else in the meantime, please let us know. But seriously, really looking forward to working with you. We're glad that we can have this opportunity to get not only our customers paid, but you guys as well for the work that you're already doing. And we'll be in touch shortly.
Indeed. All right. Thanks, Kurt. Thanks, Tony.
Yep.
Thank you.